So the state understands we're here to on petition to establish parent-child relationship, and then the petition is suit affecting parent-child relationship. State understands that I don't that that neither party is disputing that Azia, child Azia, is a child of Mr. Navarro, and the other child, Amelia, has already been established as Mr. Navarro's daughter, based on the acknowledgement of paternity. State will very like be asking for current child support, cash medical, probably not cash dental. Um, State does not know as much about what the circumstances of the parties are. Um, um, the state does have 2024 and 2023 10 Form 1040s for Mr. Navarro. The state has not sent him as an exhibit, but the state's strongly concerned that there may be a mistake or something in it. I do have them ready to be submitted in case it comes up, with social security numbers and um, redacted. Um, and then the state also asked the court to, and the state has no interest in these subjects, establish conservatorship, determine if name change is appropriate. I can say, Your Honor, that the children are, first one was born in 2017, Amelia, the one without the AOP, and then the one with the AOP was born in 2021. So the one without the AOP would be about 8 years old then. And so the state would also like the court to establish appropriate orders for visitation and then also determine non-disclosure, Your Honor. Um, and then the state will not take a position on retroactive child medical or dental support. And state does want a final order today, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Beavis.
Yes, Judge. We have filed a counter petition in this case. We are not disputing that Mr. Navarro is the father of Azia. We'd like to be adjudicated the father for purposes of this case. There's no doubt in our mind that we are the father of that child, or Mr. Navarro is.
Okay.
And
no, I'm sorry. Proceed. Thank you.
Your Honor, I think there is a dispute as far as conservatorship and access and how visitation has been conducted over the past couple of years since the parties have been separated. My client, I believe, will put on evidence that he's actually been the primary conservator and had 4 nights a week as opposed to mom's 3. So we're disputing that mom would be entitled to receive child support and that she would have the exclusive right to do so. We believe mom is kind of operating more off an expanded standard, modified standard type of schedule where she gets 3 nights a week as opposed to the 4 that my client does, which is typically around the parties' work schedules, Sunday through Wednesday. And I believe that they have agreed to that schedule for the entire time that they've been separated, and that this is mostly just an issue about someone wanting child support. So we're asking, and we believe that the parties will testify, or my client will, that my client should have the exclusive right to designate the residence and receive child support, as he's been operating as that parent under that role, having 4 nights to every 3 nights that mom has. I believe the children are on Medicaid, and we're not disputing that. I don't think any type of non-disclosure is appropriate. There's been no allegations that that would be appropriate here.
All right, thank you. All right, at this time, Mr. Navarro, Ms. Martinez, and Ms. Martinez, you need to turn on your video and unmute yourself, and I need both of you to raise your right hands, please, and let me get you under oath. Okay.
Hi.
All right, thank you. All right, raise your right hand, ma'am. Thank you. All right, do you both solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you're going to give here today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. And ma'am, you're not driving at this time, are you?
I was driving, yes.
Okay, well, you're stopped, right?
Yes.
All right. Here's the deal, ma'am. Yeah, I don't allow people to drive while we try to have a court hearing. That's just a disaster waiting to happen, and it's not going to happen on my watch. So make sure
Okay.
you're over and your vehicle is off, and we'll go ahead and proceed at this time. Thank you. You're
Okay.
both officially under oath. Thank you. All right, you can put your hands down. Thank you. All right, I'll let the state go ahead and call your first witness, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. State calls Angelica Martinez. What is your full name?
Angelica Martinez.
What is the full names of the children in this case?
Amelia Luna Navarro
And then Azia, Kylo, Martinez, Navarro,
When was Amelia born?
September 26, 2017.
So how old is she?
She is 7,
And when was Azia born?
October 16, 2021.
So how old is Azia?
3.
So so who has possession of the children right now?
I do.
All right. Um Miss Bibas said that basically Mr. Navarro has more possession of the ch children than you do.
Ooh,
How
no.
often do you have possession of the children?
So, like she said, he gets them on Sunday night, and then I'll get them back Wednesdays.
And this is both children, both Amelia and Azia?
Yes, okay, but from what I've seen lately,
Okay,
Azia will go to him.
ma'am. Stop. You go, only answer the questions they're asked. You don't get to go into a narrative. If you need to make a closing statement or closing argument, you can. But for right now, witnesses only answer the questions that are before them, have been tendered to them by the counsel. And so at this time, just answer the questions that Mr. Welch is asking. Then Ms. Beebles will have a chance to cross-examine. And then, ma'am, at the end of the hearing, if there's something that needs to come out that didn't come out, that you need to testify to, you can testify to that in a narrative as your own counsel, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, ma'am. So how often does he get the children Sunday nights to Wednesday?
Every week.
And when did this arrangement start?
Um,
After I pressed charges on him, I can't remember exact dates. I want to say 2, 3 years ago.
All right. So what do you mean by charges that you pressed on him?
I pressed charges on him because he put his hands on me.
All right. So was there a police report of this?
Your
Yeah,
Honor, anything prior to the filing of the suit. Mom hasn't pled for anything involving domestic violence, and this is something that's happened years ago.
Well, here's the deal, ma'am. I understand it's been it sounds like it's outside the 2-year time frame, but I need to know whether or not there's been a conviction. And so I'm gonna let the state go along this route for a little bit so we can figure out what the final disposition of that matter was. If it was dismissed, and obviously Mr. Navarro is innocent until proven guilty. So that's the way that's the way this circumstance works. So at this time, Mr. Welch, go straight to the punchline. Was there a conviction? Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. So was there a conviction for these alleged crimes?
I mean, I went to court and they never called me back, so I don't know how it went.
All right. All right, ma'am. Let's not go along that. Well, since you don't know, it sounds like there was not a conviction, ma'am. So, and it's been more than 2 years. So this is outside the purview what the court normally looks at. So I'm gonna let the state just proceed. But again, just listen to the question that's asked and answer the question that's asked. Don't add filler in like that's after I did this or this is when before he did that. All right. Thank you.
So let's move on to insurance. What health insurance do the children have?
They both have Medicaid.
All right. Do you have access to private health insurance?
No,
Do you have access to private dental insurance?
no.
So how are you currently employed?
I work at a daycare.
And how much do you make there?
About 800 every 2 weeks.
And do you have a college degree?
What?
Do you have a degree from a college?
No.
What was your last job before working at the daycare?
I was working at Lakewood Elementary, and then I had 2 jobs at the time. I was doing deliveries for Walmart.
And so when did you transfer from working at Lakewood Elementary and Walmart to working at this daycare?
I started working at the daycare in July.
Do you have any like other than your driver's license, do you have any like licenses or something else like that?
No.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Beavis, you're a witness.
Yes, ma'am. When did the two of you stop living together?
That's to me or to Angelica?
To Ms.
All right, she's the witness now, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the question, Mr. Martinez?
Yes, I did. I'm trying to remember. It was Azia was still like 6 months old, so I want to say 2022.
And you've been doing a Sunday through Wednesday possession schedule. And when do you pick up Wednesday?
I don't keep track of this, honestly. I can't. It's been too much. I have too much going on that I can't really remember.
You don't know what day or what time in the afternoon or evenings you pick up on Wednesdays?
After I get off of work, since I started working at the daycare, it's been after I get off of work. And it was like that when I was working at Lakewood also.
Daycares typically close around 6. Is that when you get off of work at your daycare?
Yes.
Okay. And how many days a week are you working at daycare?
Monday through Friday.
So are you typically doing kind of the afternoon shift at the daycare, or are you the morning shift?
I work all day. I go in at 7:30 and I get off around 6.
And so who's kind of doing the afternoon pickup Wednesdays? Is dad doing that? He's getting them from school or daycare?
Well, the way I had it was my mom works at Amelia school. So sometimes I'll have my mom keep Amelia, and then sometimes he'll pick up Amelia. And then Azia gets to go to daycare with me.
Okay. So when do you get Amelia? Do you come after late Wednesday night and get Amelia from dad?
When he has her, yes.
And the two of y'all have kind of been exercising this type of schedule for how long?
Since I pressed charges on him, I can't remember the date.
Objection non-responsive.
Sustained. Ma'am, if you don't remember the date, just say you don't remember the date. Again, stop adding items that were not requested in the question, ma'am. So if you don't remember the date, just say you don't remember the date. Thank you.
Has it been at least a year?
Been over a year, yes.
And dad exercises his visits and you exercise yours. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And these kids have always been on Medicaid?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Does daycare provide childcare free for your youngest, or is that at a discounted rate because you work there?
It's free.
And there's no other expenses for Amelia after school care or anything like that?
No,
How do you and dad communicate?
not good. We don't.
Is it via text message, email?
Text message, yeah.
And so if something is wrong or the kids are sick, do you text him or dad will text you?
No.
So you don't exchange antibiotics or anything like that when the children are sick?
Yes, whenever we exchange the kids, I'll just tell him, like, here's the medicine.
Okay. Where are you exchanging the kids at? Is there a specific place or just whoever's house?
Family Dollar, sometimes Family Dollar, sometimes I'll drop him off at his house.
Okay. And what have y'all been doing regarding finances or anything that the children need?
Well, I buy my own stuff for my kids and he gets his own stuff for the kids.
And so you've been able to kind of provide during your time and he's been able to provide during his.
Yes.
Have you ever filed any custody paperwork prior to this?
No.
Is there any doubt in your mind that Mr. Navarro is the father of your youngest?
No. The dad, yes.
That's all I have, Your Honor. I'll pass.
All right. The youngest has the ALP, right?
Let's see, Your Honor. The other attorney is for Amelia, and Amelia was born on 2017. So it's the OP is for the oldest.
Okay, I misunderstood. I thought you said it was for the younger. Okay, thank you.
So the younger of them would be about
Very
4 years old, Your Honor. So
okay, I got it. I just got them mixed up. I wrote it down wrong. Sorry, that was just clarifying. All right, then. And ma'am, real quick question is, are you the only one on the Medicaid grant, or is Dad on the Medicaid grant? Okay, thank you. All right, thank you. Anything on redirect, Mr. Welch?
yes, Your Honor, very briefly. So currently, ma'am, Azia, the child without the acknowledged attorney, her last name or her name is Azia Kylo Navarro Martinez. Are you okay
His-
with that currently?
Yes, it's his name.
And how is Mr. Navarro employed as far as you know?
Don't know. We don't talk about that.
Pass a witness, Your Honor.
No questions.
All right, ma'am, where was he employed at the time y'all were still living together? Do you remember that?
He was doing haircuts, a barber.
Okay, thank you. All right, any other questions at this time of this witness from either attorney? Mr. Welch?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Phoebus?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Welch, call your next witness, please.
State calls Alexander Navarro. What is your full name?
Alexander Kane Navarro.
So are you the father of Amelia and Azia?
Yes, sir.
All right. So so do you have access to private health insurance that could be done for the children?
Yes, kind of. I have insurance for myself. I I tried to see how much it would cost to get them on it, but since they're on Medicaid, they just said they couldn't. They could only have one. So
So what about private dental insurance?
I'm sure I could find it. I'm not on dental insurance myself at this moment, but if I had to, I could definitely get them on it and figure that out.
And your private health insurance, is that through your employer or through another source?
Okay, so I kind of confused on the definition of private health insurance. I'm self-employed, so it'd be through probably I forgot what they call it, but
The portal? That's what they used to call it. I'm not sure what they call it now. The insurance portal, sir, the federal government one.
something like that. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
So how are you? How are you employed, or are you self-employed?
I'm still self-employed. I've been self-employed for since 2020. No, since 2018, I've been self-employed as a barber, same career.
So how much do you make there?
On average, I make at least 300 to 400 a week. So at least usually 350 a week. Of course, there's slow weeks. Sometimes there's really good weeks. Like around Christmas time, I make.
All right, I got it, sir. I got it.
Yes.
And real quick, sir, are you independent or you work for a shop?
I'm independent. I'm working in a private suite.
Okay. And what's the name of you have a business name, sir?
Yes, it's called Trillionaire Cuts.
Okay. And what's your location?
West Adams, Temple, Texas. I think
Okay.
the address is 5709.
All right. Thank you, sir. You may proceed, Mr. Welch. Your witness again, Mr. Welch. I'm sorry. Anything? Next question. Or am I frozen? Can everybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Um,
There you go.
Okay.
um,
Mr. Welch, looked like you were frozen there for a second. I'm sorry. All right. Thank you. You may continue, Mr. Welch. Thank you.
yes, Your Honor. Mr. Navarro, did you hear my question about are you okay with Azia's name?
I'm not okay with it. I don't like how he has Martinez added to it, but I'm not gonna. That's not the biggest issue to me. I'm not okay with it. I never was okay with it, and she knew that from the beginning.
All right, sir. So before you started working at started having your trillionaire cuts,
Mhm.
what job did you have?
I mean, I was just working at a barbershop called Ace of Fades in Temple, Texas.
And how much were you making there?
I was probably making at least a good 400 a week still.
And when did you leave to go to have your own trillionaire cuts?
So while I was at Ace of Fades, I basically became my own business still because it's like a booth rental shop. So while I was there, that's when I kind of opened my business as a sole proprietor. And then about after being at Ace of Fades for 3 years, I went to a suite in Temple. So if I can remember the date correctly, it was I think it's right around 2021.
So it was around 2021 when you moved to have your suite in Temple?
Yes, yes, sir.
Do you have any safety concerns with Miss Martinez?
Not 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 really, no.
Pass the witness.
All right, your witness, Ms. Vivas. Thank you.
Mr. Navarro, you aren't disputing that both of these kids are yours, correct?
No, I'm not.
And in a perfect world, what was you change Azia's name to?
Azia Kylo Navarro.
And Amelia's last name is Navarro as well, correct?
Yes.
Um, how long have you and mom been operating off Sunday through Wednesday schedule?
So it kind of began, started around the summer of 2022.
And has that schedule been pretty consistent?
Yes, it used to be every other week. It'd be Saturday through Tuesday, and then the next week Sunday through Wednesday. And it kind of just became Sunday through Wednesday. But it's been pretty I forgot what the word you just said.
Consistent?
It's been pretty consistent, but there has been days where she brings the kids later than planned, and I'm waiting around and stuff like that.
Okay. But you've consistently had these kids every 3 or 4 nights a week for almost 2 years.
Yes, at least 3 nights a week.
And that's every week, right?
Every week. Yes.
Okay. And what have y'all been doing as far as finances are concerned? Have you ever asked her for support, or has she ever asked you for support?
I've never asked her for support. Um, she asked me for support, and there's been many times where I sent her money, and
Uh,
then
why does she need support if you have the kids that many days a week?
I'm not exactly sure.
Has Azia always had free daycare where mom works?
She started working at daycare about a year ago, so just since then.
Okay. What did you do prior to that?
My mom would watch him, and I would watch him, and then she would watch him. So it was just between us three mostly, and sometimes her mom.
Is this schedule kind of been going by agreement this far? Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay, just a second. We lost mom. All right, let's hold on a second. I thought she might be moving in that car again. So yeah, tell people to do things they don't ever want to do them. So anyway, we'll go off the record for just a moment. Give mom a chance to get back in. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
It looks like she's back, Your Honor. And you're muted.
Okay. All right, ma'am. Yeah, you hit a spot and you faded out for a second. We just want to make sure you're back in. Are you there, Miss Martinez? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
All right, thank you. All right, you may proceed. Let me go ahead and get back on the record. All right, we're now back on the record on Bell County calls number 24 DFAM 348008. You may proceed with your questioning of your witness at this time, Ms. Beavis. Thank you.
I think I left off was this schedule has been mostly by agreement, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And what have y'all been doing if someone is sick or can't pick up or drop off? Do y'all work that out?
We try to. Sometimes there's been a couple of times she told me she's feeling sick, and whether like if the parent is sick, I might have them an extra day, or sometimes just watch them a little longer throughout the day.
Recording in progress.
All right, Ms. Martinez, you're in here on two different devices now, ma'am.
Three. Two.
Okay. All right, yeah, okay. Now it's just one. Thank you. You may proceed.
And how have y'all been doing like cash medical or out-of-pocket medical expenses, like prescriptions? How have y'all been doing those?
I'm pretty sure the Medicaid's been paying for all their stuff, so if we ever do have to pay for medicine, it would just be out of pocket.
But you're not aware of any costs or any money owed toward those things, correct?
No, ma'am.
And what about extracurriculars? Are your kids in extracurricular activities?
Yes, so I have put my daughter into ballet. She was doing it for almost a year. She's taking a break right now, but she's gonna get back into it this summer. And she was even doing basketball almost 2 years ago now, a year and a half ago. And now my son, he's 3, so he's gonna. The plan is to have him do fall t-ball in this coming fall.
And who's typically paying for those types of expenses?
So I was paying for the ballet stuff, and then my mom helped me pay for some extra stuff that was part of the ballet, like a recital. And then the basketball thing was free that Angelica found. It was through like a church. Actually, it wasn't free, but we went half on it actually.
So you and mom split the cost of basketball.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Who's taking the children to these extracurricular activities? You or mom or both?
It was both.
How far apart do you and mom live right now?
We live pretty close, like 5-minute drives at the most.
Do you live in the same school district?
Yeah, but since her mom works at a certain school in West Temple, that's where we take Amelia.
Are you approving of that school, or do you like Amelia going to that school?
I like her going to that school. The messed up thing was that she didn't really give me a heads up about it. I literally, this school, the beginning of the school year, I took Amelia to the school that I thought she was gonna go to, that she went to last year. I was gonna take her to her, I forgot what they call it,
Okay. Just a second real quick, sir. Is the
Yes.
child, I know it sounds like y'all live in Temple, right?
We live in Belton, sir.
Okay, all right. So is the child in the BISD, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's going to be in West Temple. Okay, all right. Thank you. Just want to make sure the child was in BISD. Thank you.
It is I might have misunderstood as well, Judge. Is the child enrolled in a Temple school because that's where grandma works, or a Belton school?
I think it's still BISD. It's in West Temple though.
This is West Temple. It's BISD. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you. And when it's your time, do you do pick up and drop off?
Yes, I pick her up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and drop her off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
And she's not in after school care or anything like that?
No, only on Thursdays and Fridays, and it's not really after school care. She just kind of goes to this kind of play area where she can hang out till her grandma gets off work and then goes home.
Do you have any plans to leave the area or move out of Belton ISD?
I don't have any plans in the near future. I'm trying to stay close to my kids, so that's my priority.
Are you asking this court to restrict these kids to Belton ISD so that you can kind of exercise this possession schedule?
I think that would be okay. I'm kind of confused on that.
Yeah. Are there any other issues that you and mom are having that this court needs to address, like communication or pick up and drop off locations?
The communication isn't the best. I think there's only so much we could do about it. We kind of just do what we have to. Pick them up at Dollar General, drop them off there. No, we don't just drop them off there, but we meet there. And
Hey, which kind of general, sir? Like I said, we got several of those things now.
it's right between our house on 6th Avenue in Belton.
Okay, got it. I know which one. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And are you asking this court for this every week, Sunday through Wednesday schedule to continue?
I would love that for it to stay like that.
And that goes around everybody's work schedule, correct?
Yes, ma'am. And I'd even be willing to get them Saturday through Tuesday too, just just in case. I'm fine with that. The old schedule was too, if we could.
And you say that the two of y'all don't communicate well, but you've been doing these exchanges pretty regularly for the last year or two?
Yes. It's been about almost 2 years now.
And do you know where mom lives?
Yes.
She knows where you live?
Yes.
And you have each other's phone numbers?
Yes, ma'am.
That's all I have, Your Honor. I'll pass.
All right, thank you very much. You're a witness again, Mr. Welch.
Yes, Your Honor. So do you have any other children besides Azia and Amelia?
Yes, sir. I have a newborn son. He's 4 months old.
So does that child live with you?
Yes.
Thank you.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Beavis, anything on redirect?
No, Judge.
All right, real quick, sir. How many people live in your household at this time? Besides, it's you, your son, and the child's mother, or anyone else?
That's it.
All right, thank you. All right, any other witnesses at this time, Mr. Welch?
No, Your Honor.
All right, any other witnesses, Ms. Beavis?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Martinez, you there, ma'am? I can't hear you, ma'am. Are you there?
I'm here.
All right,
I'm
then.
here.
All right. Well, I got a couple of quick. Everybody has everybody's cell phone numbers, and that's how y'all communicate through cell phones, right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. And y'all haven't been using any type of parenting app to communicate. Y'all just been using straight text messages, that sort of thing.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. All right, then, Ms. Martinez, here's your chance, ma'am. You've heard the testimony. We stopped when we lost you there for a second, just to make sure you didn't miss anything. Here's the deal, ma'am. Is there anything else that you think the court needs to know at this time based on your prior testimony and the father's testimony and is relevant to this case for the court to make a decision at this time?
Mhm. Yes. So one thing that concerns me when they're over there, the eating. I don't think he's feeding them right.
Okay, here's the deal, ma'am. Here's the deal. You can only testify to what you're an eyewitness to or anything he has told you. If you didn't see it or he didn't tell you, you cannot speculate. You only can testify. That's why you call a witness. It has to be something you actually witnessed, ma'am. So what have you actually witnessed that gives you cause for concern?
I have a witness. I listed her.
I beg your pardon, sir, ma'am?
I have a witness and I've listed her. I don't understand why she's not here.
Well, ma'am, again, I don't know why your witness is not here, but she is not. So, my question at this time: do you have anything that you want to tell the court that you are a witness to?
Yes, when they get back home, they come back like they're starving. They don't look like they're well fed. They don't look like they're taken care of. Another thing is I don't like the kids in his car when he is smoking, which he got arrested for, I believe.
Honor, again, I'm going to object to prior to the filing of this lawsuit and hearsay.
All right, I'm gonna ask both of you. Have either of you been arrested for anything in the last 2 years? And I'm gonna start with you, ma'am. Have you ever been arrested and or convicted of anything in the last 2 years?
Have I? No.
All right, I'll go with him in a moment. All right, ma'am, you may proceed.
Okay, so I know he smokes and he likes to smoke in his car, and I'm not okay with him having the kids in his car when it smells like that.
Okay.
Other thing.
Anything else, ma'am?
Yeah, he's only been consistent with the schedule after I press charges. I want to say if I didn't press charges, he wouldn't have had the
Okay,
kid.
ma'am.
Same
Okay,
objection.
ma'am, here's the deal. Yeah, the testimony is y'all been doing this for the last year and a half, 2 years. Is that testimony correct?
Yes.
Okay, so it doesn't, I know you're trying to give me a time frame based on charges, but again, ma'am, he's not been convicted of anything, so he's not guilty of anything under the eyes of the law. So again, we're just looking at the time frames, and y'all been doing this, and it's been almost the same schedule for a year and a half, 2 years, and it's switched over to the current schedule when you went to work for the daycare. That's my understanding. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
from what I know, also, he doesn't have them the whole time. He'll
Hey,
send
ma'am,
a
ma'am. Okay, again. All right. Again, ma'am, you understand things, but you again, you need to testify to only the things that you're witness to. And of course, ma'am, kids are not with parents the whole time, every time. When the children are with you, you have the right to have them with you. You have the right to have them with a babysitter. So as long as they're taken care of, parents have that right. So again, if you got anything that you can testify to that you're a witness to that was or told to you by him that gives you the cause for concern based on the information at this time.
Okay. I don't agree with the schedule that he wants to have. I want the standard because I'm not getting enough time with my kids. I have to
Okay.
work basically all day. So if anything, it would work better for me if I had them every other weekend so I can do stuff with them and not share the weekends with Alexander.
All right, here's the deal, ma'am. It sounds like you get every weekend based on the schedule he just testified to. He picks the children up on Sunday and brings them back on Wednesday. So you have them Saturday and Sunday all day, correct?
Yes, not Sunday all day, but that's the thing. Like, I also want to make sure Amelia makes it to school. He hasn't been doing that. I had to do truancy court because she's been missing school on the days that he has her.
All right, okay. That's something that it wasn't testified to earlier, ma'am. All right, so we're going to go into that, and I'll let both attorneys have the opportunity to cross-examine in a moment. You have just testified to the court that the child has been, I'm sorry, you've had to come to truancy court in I'm sorry, you had to come to the actual truancy court here in Belton based on something that with this child, ma'am?
No, not to court. It's been a course and a class. I've had to do it twice.
All right, do you have a copy of her report cards for this year, ma'am?
I do.
All right, then, and sir, do you have a copy?
I do not.
And Your Honor, I mean, I do have screenshots, Your Honor, of certain things that are labeled truancy stuff. I can't really go into too detail because
Okay, well,
I don't
I'm
have
going to
permission
ask
from.
him about those, but I'm going to finish up with mom, and then I'm going to let Ms. Beavis have the opportunity to speak to cross-examine her. But my last question to you, ma'am, this truancy information that you have, and this is obviously going to be on report cards and information. Are any of those happened on your watch?
On my watch?
Yes, ma'am. Are you responsible for any of these truancy circumstances?
Yeah, I did the truancy classes. Yes.
I mean, was the child truant based on your actions, ma'am, is the question.
Can you repeat that?
Was the child truant based on your what you did, ma'am? You said the child, you had to go to truancy. Were you responsible for any of those truancy circumstances?
For some of them, yes, but most of them were his.
Okay.
Like on his days. I was taking her to school late at times. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm perfect and I'm there on time. But most of the days were on the days that he has her. There was even days where he had her miss school because of his birthday.
Okay. All right, ma'am. Thank you. All right, sir.
Yes, sir.
There's been allegations of the child being late for school. That is definitely a problem.
Yes.
Were you aware of the truancy problem? Any truancy problem, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. And when this truancy problem was happening, half the more than half the time, it was 5 to 10 minutes late to school. And this also wasn't this school year. This was last school year when she was in kindergarten. Now that
Okay.
she's in first grade, I probably had her late to school 2 times this whole year. So
Okay.
that problem has definitely been fixed, and I've been doing my part to make sure she doesn't have to go through that ever again. But she wasn't just missing days out the week all the time. She was 5, 10 minutes late to school, Your Honor.
All right.
It's
And
been
sir,
more than
ma'am,
2 times.
ma'am, you're not the witness. You're not the witness, ma'am. Okay. All right, sir. And see, I lost my chain of thought that quick. All right. And sir, what's the name of the school the child goes to?
The school she goes to now is Tarver Elementary.
All right. Thank you.
May I follow up, Judge?
Yes, you may.
So for this year, the 2024 to 2025 school year, have there been any truancy issues?
No, ma'am.
And some of those truancy issues from last year, the 2023 to 24 year, some of those times, was it during mom's possession as well?
Yes, ma'am.
How many times would you say mom was late or had the child miss school?
I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't know the number.
Is it more than 2?
It's probably at least 2.
And so this year, again, it's your testimony to this court that this child has no truancy issues this year.
No, ma'am, she does not have no truancy issues this year.
And you did testify that last year y'all were doing a Saturday through Monday or Tuesday schedule?
It was Saturday through Tuesday every other week, and then it was Sunday through Wednesday every other week. So it would switch.
So since the change to this Sunday through Wednesday schedule for this year, there's been no truancy issues.
No truancy issues, ma'am.
That's all I have.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Any questions of the witness, Mr. Welch? I mean for Mr. Navarro, I got a couple of questions for Ms. Martinez myself. So
for Mr. Navarro, so I think I'm a bit confused, sir. So is it Sunday to Wednesday you're saying that you've had the child every week or every other week?
Every other week.
No.
Every
every
week,
week.
Sunday through Wednesday.
Every
What I was saying was before we had switched the week. So one week could be Saturday through Tuesday, and the next week it would be Sunday through Wednesday.
All right, so before it was switched, but now you stabilized it at Sunday through Wednesday.
Yes, and it really was never agreed. It kind of just became that because she would never get back to me on Saturdays.
I got it, sir.
Yes.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Martinez, how many you're alleging? How many incidents of truancy have there been for the 2024 and 2025 school year, ma'am?
None. She's just been late and she's been absent.
Okay, ma'am, but there hasn't been any truancy issues.
No.
Okay. And has she had any, to the best of your knowledge, has she ever had any unexcused absences based on the time frames that you had the child?
Yes, she has had some unexcused absences.
Okay, and that's the on your watch, on your times.
On his time.
Okay.
There's probably like
Now the question was, ma'am, has there been any unexcused absences when the child was in your care? And so I'm looking at those Thursdays and Fridays, I guess, for the last year.
Probably 1.
Okay. And do you know how many unexcused absences she's had this whole year, ma'am?
No, not exactly, but I know there's a couple of them.
Okay. All right. Any other questions of the witness, Ms. Bibas, Ms. Martinez?
No, Judge.
Mr. Mr. Welch.
Your Honor, there is one thing. It's not related to this. I wanted to ask her, does she have any other children besides the 2 children in this case?
You can ask her any question, because and I had one final question for her also. Thank you. You may proceed, Mr. Welch.
So Ms. Martinez, besides the children in this case, do you have any other children?
No.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, and Ms. Martinez, how many people live in your household at this time?
It's me, Azia, Amelia, and my parents, my dad and my mom.
Okay. All right, thank you, ma'am. All right, any other witnesses this time, Mr. Welch?
State rests subject to closing, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Beavis?
I rest, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Martinez, closing statement, well, any other testimony you want to give, ma'am? I'm gonna give you the opportunity to make a closing statement. As soon as the lawyers make theirs, you'll see how that works, and you can make yours. All right. Any other testimony you want to give at this time, ma'am?
No, I think that's about it.
All right, I'll listen to closing statements at this time, and I'll start with Mr. Welch, then go to Ms. Beavis, and then, ma'am, Ms. Martinez, I'll give you that opportunity.
Thank you, Your Honor. So the state does ask for, while the state understands that Mr. Navarro may have access to private health or dental, considering that he doesn't know the cost of it now, and the state does want to have a final order, state asks the court to order government medical through Ms. Martinez, cash medical support. I understand there's a custody dispute, Your Honor, but it shouldn't change. Well, actually, Your Honor, if Miss Martinez is the one who has the right to get child support, medical support payments, then cash medical should be for her $39 per month starting May 1st, 2025, and she would then apologies, Your Honor. Can I have a couple minutes just to think this out for the support? I'm getting a bit confused.
All right, then. I'll tell you what, folks. Let's go ahead and take it. Judge's going to take a 15-minute break. I'll be back on at 12:15, and because I think I got a 1:30 hearing started, so let's get this one wrapped up. But for right now, like I said, it's 12 o'clock, and I'll be back on the bench at 12:15, and I'll let y'all make those closing statements at that time, and then you can do your math, Mr. Welch. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
We're off the record for now. Thank you. All right, we're again back on the record on Bell County calls number 24 DFAM 348008. We reset this for a moment to allow Mr. Welch to finish his math on the request the state's making. So we're back on that record, and Mr. Welch, you may proceed. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Starting out with, Your Honor, as you know, the state takes no position on who should be custodial parent or non-custodial parent, but I have two scenarios. Miss Martinez as the non-custodial parent, and then Mr. Navarro as the custodial parent. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I messed up something. I'm really sorry, Your Honor. I put his just need 1 minute, Your Honor.
All right, we'll just remain on the record while you get that fixed, sir. Go. Thank you.
All right, Your Honor. I've got it now. So Miss Martinez is non-custodial parent, Mr. Navarro as custodial parent. As state understands, that Miss Martinez testified that she works at a daycare for about $800 every 2 weeks. So we take 800 times that by 20. Oh,
Mr. Gross, I don't need the math. I just need the I know the math. I think I've been doing this long enough to get the math right. I just need to know the amount, sir. Thank you. I'm just trying to speed things along. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. So current child support would be $378 starting May 1st, 2025, monthly. And cash medical of $39 per month starting May 1st, 2025, with government medical being ordered. And that current child support would go down to $303 per month when the oldest child presumably will emancipate first. And then Ms. Martinez as custodial parent, Mr. Navarro as non-custodial parent. That would be $315 per month starting May 1st, 2025 for the current child support. And then cash medical of $52 per month for the starting May 1st, 2025. And this is through government medical as well. And that current child support would go down to $245 per month when the oldest child, in this case, emancipates, presumably first.
Okay.
And as for the other issues, Your Honor, state does ask the court to rule on non-disclosure based on the facts presented. And state asks the court to portion court costs. And then for the other issues, the state doesn't have any issues on name change, conservatorship visitation, asks the court to rule on those. And then as for the retroactive support, Your Honor, state, just like before, takes no position on it in this particular case. That's it.
All right, thank you. Ms. Beavis.
Yes, Judge. I think you're aware of our position, but we are asking either for my client to be able to designate the primary residence within Bell County or a geo restriction to the ISD the kids are currently or will currently be enrolled in, which is Belton ISD. We're asking for the, I don't want to call it a 50-50, but a modified possession schedule to continue as the parties, although they state that they are not getting along, seem to have been fairly, effectively doing this schedule for the last several years, despite the allegations kind of made on both sides that they don't speak. But it's pretty uncommon to see people without orders have this type of schedule successfully for that long. So we're asking for those orders to continue. We believe that my client does have most of the time, if you look at that possession schedule every week. And he basically wants it to continue Sunday through Wednesday. It looks like Wednesday pickup is when mom gets off work around 7 o'clock. And we'd like the Sunday kind of portion to start around noon. But obviously, we agree that the government medical should continue. I don't think my client has private medical insurance. He's self-employed, so it's out of pocket. And obviously, we're okay with Mr. Welsh's numbers. We would like Azia's name changed to Navarro to match his sister's and my client's last name. We're not asking for any type of back support on either side, as the parties have been operating fairly equitably as it shows, or as everyone's kind of agreed and paying for their own expenses, and no one's requested any back support today at this hearing. So we would just ask, Judge, that you continue the schedule as agreed, and of course, name the parties joint managing conservators.
All right, it's my understanding that his right now his pickup is on Sunday evenings and not in the afternoon. Is that correct?
I think they've just been kind of doing it in the afternoons to evenings. My client would like it to be more noonish, but
Okay.
If it's 5 or 6, then it's 5 or 6.
All right, thank you. All right then, Ms. Martinez, anything in closing, ma'am?
So with him picking them up, like it hasn't always been 5 to 6. I've asked him before, like, can you pick them up early in the morning? And it hasn't been like that. And that's why I changed the schedule. Also on the Saturdays, he wasn't consistent
Okay,
on the Saturdays.
ma'am, again, right now, I just need a closing, what you want the court to do here. I know what the testimony is. And right now, my understanding is y'all have been doing Sunday evenings and to Wednesday evenings. That's what I've got written down. So what else are you asking the court to do here today, ma'am?
I just want my time with my kids just as much as he does. And I believe I'm not a bad mother. Like, I work for my kids. I've tried my best for my kids. I want more time with my kids. I've been losing time with my kids ever since I started working, and I only started work. I have to have a job. I understand that. But when I was with him, he had told me, "Oh, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to help you out." That never happened. Financially, I've been doing it by myself. He doesn't like give me any relief in anything. I've been the one that's been taking care of the kids. I take them to the doctors. I take care of their medicine. I feed them good. Like I said, I'm frustrated. I would want every other weekend and Monday through Friday with my kids.
All right, so you want me to go away from the schedule you're on right now, ma'am? That's your request.
Yes. That's what
All right, Ms. Beavis, here's the deal. Tell your client, welcome to the 21st century. If I'm going to change the names, I'm going to change it to include both hers and his name. You know, I understand sound like he's an old-fashioned type of guy, but this is not old-fashioned time frames anymore. One child has one name, one child's the other. I like all children to have the same name. They had the child together. It's always been my policy. They can share the name together. So, and I always give mom the option of which name goes first. because mom does the hard work when it comes to having babies. So that's just the way the court does that. So, and I know Mr. Navarro is not going to be happy about that, but hey, the one child already has this name, and that's the way it's set up. All right, so at this time, Ms. Martinez, right now, the younger child is Navarro Martinez. I'm probably looking at making the older child also Navarro Martinez, because that's the way the other ones are, and the name's already set up. So is there any problem with that, ma'am?
No.
All right. Ms. Beavis, so I know you're going to talk to your client about that, but that's the way it's going to roll, and that's going to be definitely my rule. And the kids need to have the same name. I'm sorry, so that's the way that sets up. But right now, that's probably the only thing I'm ready to make a ruling on. I want to go back and look at a couple of things and notes. I want to go ahead and take this one under advisement. And I've got a regular docket. Let's see, this coming Tuesday's the 20th. Okay, no, that's last week. Oh, here we go. All right, I got my general docket on Tuesday. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the slot at 10:15. I'm going to move this current Zoom code to 10:15 on Tuesday, and I'll make a ruling at that time. It's going to be the same Zoom code, but I want to go over everything and look at all the math. Okay, I'm sorry. I got land passes on Monday. I don't know how I did that. Okay, sorry.
Your Honor, it's on Tuesday. Land passes in person's on Tuesday, next Tuesday.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got right now. I'm sorry. I got land passes sitting on my Zoom docket on Monday. So okay, thank you both, Belinda, and thank y'all both for yelling at me about that. So let's see. Okay, I've got a live docket on Wednesday, the 10th at 9:30. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this one to 9 a.m. on that morning, so if everybody wants to log in, and I will make my rulings on all other aspects of this case at this time. The only other ruling I want to give everybody a heads up on making, and that way you can get started. I'm gonna go ahead and put these folks on app close, okay? And it's gonna be kind of weird, but I'm gonna go ahead and let Dad set that up, and then send Mom the invitation. But going forward, folks, I want y'all communicating everything on a parenting app called AppClose, AppClose. The reason I want that because it allows the court to get data from the app if anything comes up in the future that's he said, she says. If it's not in the app, I'm not going to listen to it, because I'm ordering you both to communicate when it concerns these two children strictly through the app. No private text messaging about the children, no setting up anything about the children on private phone calls and messages. Everything has to go through the parenting app. That way the court can confirm any and all information that is done going forward. So, and I'll have Ms. Beavis, you can go over your client how about setting up AppClose, and Ms. Martinez, you will get an invitation once he sets up the account to join the account. And like I said, going forward, that's the way I want y'all to communicate, okay?
Yes.
All right, yes, sir.
Okay.
Judge, can you restate that reset date for me? I'm sorry.
All right, so I'm going to do it on the 30th at 9 a.m. And it's the same Zoom code, again, just for the ruling. I got most of it written down here the way I want to go with this one, but I want to check a couple of things to make sure I got everything that I want to try to set up, all right?
Understood. Thank you, Judge.
All right. All right. Any other questions, Ms. Beavis?
No, Judge.
All right, Ms. Martinez, questions, ma'am.
Is it the 30th of this month?
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna do this on this coming Wednesday. Like I said, I'll spend some time after doing the break writing some of this down, but I want to make sure I got everything 1, 2, 3, 4, and I want to make sure I got everything listed. So it'll only take me about 5 minutes to make make that ruling on the record. And if you want to be there, ma'am, you can. If you can't, then they can always get you a copy of the ruling. Okay. Because I know I'm messing with people's jobs. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank everybody very much. And for now, we're off the record, and it looks like the judge is now 1 o'clock. Well, 1:30 went away because the non-custodial party got himself arrested and thrown in jail. So that always makes life interesting. And this guy has an MBA in finance, so this is going to be interesting. So yeah.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got an MBA in finance, and so far I haven't had to be thrown in jail. So, but we're good. Anyway, I'll see everybody on Wednesday. And again, I'll make a record of it and a recording of it. So if someone's not here, you can get a copy of the recording. Thank you, everybody, very much, and everybody have a good weekend. And I hope your team's first round draft choice went well last night. So
Thanks, Judge.
And Your Honor, you don't need to have a reset order for that for Wednesday.
No, that's just a ruling. And everybody knows the Zoom code. And y'all can show up. Like I said 9 a.m. And then I gotta I'm gonna come on the bench and do that one. At 9:30, I'll start my live case. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right, everybody's free to go. Like I said, have a good weekend.